Hold on, before you go on, let me say this about Trigger. She's a very nice person, and she's a very sweet person on the inside. Her takes may be a little bit delusional, and she can
Yeah.
be wrong about a lot of things. But she's a good person, and more importantly, I think that Trigger would be able to get better results if she cared more about if she put more effort into the things that mattered instead of doing the things that grab attention. I think that she would get better results. But
Like
she's
purple hair.
yeah, but she's a good person. So shout out to you,
She is a
Trigger.
good person. Because honestly, we've had women on different panels. Y'all went at them a little bit, and they came back and cussed y'all out, call y'all the B words, and Trigger been taking it. So shout out to her. I'm glad she comes back. But let's go to the next topic.
Yeah, I cuss y'all out with facts.
Yeah, yeah.
The black woman
Ruin
between
your
the. I want you to follow two.
Oops, wrong one.
I want you to follow two themes: misunderstood. The black. I want you to follow two themes: misunderstood and not protected. I want you to follow those themes, okay? Because you've noticed it's themes. You follow the theme of racism, but I want you to follow those other themes because they're important. They're important to understanding someone like me. And when you have not been protected and you are misunderstood, what are you going to naturally develop? Defense mechanisms.
For sure.
Okay, are black women the least protected in America? Ed, you can go because we haven't really heard from you. And then T. You're muted. You're muted, sir.
Can you run that? Can you run that video back? Cause I have bad playback.
And not protected.
It's okay. The topic is wait, we hear the audio. The topic is, are black women the least protected in America?
Yes, because
And you are misunderstood.
Wait, what's that? You gotta take off YouTube in the back, and we hear it going.
it's off.
Okay, go
Can
ahead.
you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Are black women the most affected in the United in country?
Are black women the least protected in America?
Oh, I would say yes and no, but I would say majority. I would majority say yes.
Yeah, we
Just
can't
by
hear
their
you.
action.
Ed,
You hear me now?
you got a major delay. I'm sorry. Your delay is like Stop yawning, Quinn.
All right, just go back to the next person and I'll come back.
Okay, go ahead, T. T, I see you
I
laughing.
was gonna say that he's protected from what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see like the point of that, because I think that women are protected, you know, for the most part in general, right? Like, it's not even like a race thing. So, I mean, that's pretty much my 2 cents on it. You know, I've never really like protected from what, you know. I don't.
Protected from men, protected from society, protected from other women.
I think women are just protected, you know, like they're just in general, like I think they're very well protected. I think that if any man sees a woman like being assaulted or something like that, no matter what their race is, you know, I would figure they would do something about it, you know. But some people won't. I mean, some people just watch it. But
I'm gonna call the cops and be like, police.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At least somebody's gonna at least, you know, saying call somebody, or some people might react. You know what I'm saying? If you got a gun, you might, you know, pop off. You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It depends. If I see somebody getting assaulted, you know, I'll try to put, you know, if I got my strap on me, I'll probably do something depending on the situation. You know, maybe not.
Oh no. Why would you even intervene that?
It depends. If I see somebody that's about to get shot, like I saw some chick get shot on the internet too. It showed it. It was actually a black girl with and the guy was black too, but he shot her like right on the parking lot.
I saw that.
Right. So if somebody like, there's people that been like in a store and somebody's been robbing somebody and they pulled out and boom, blown their head off. And it's happening in banks. It's happening. So, you know, But when it comes to women, like in general, like I don't think other race has anything to do with that at all. So I just don't. I think women are protected in general.
So what I have to say is yes, they're at least protected because they don't need no man and they don't need protection.
Yep. They say it all
That's
the
my
time.
answer.
I don't need no man. I don't need you to protect me. I can protect myself. Well, go protect yourself. Man. Don't call me when Pookie beating on you all the time.
And not to, and most of the black women are more masculine than the men. So you got it, sis. You got it.
Anybody the least protected is the children.
I think the protection aspect in the conversation is centered around the fact that, like, when you go online and you see that a lot of things negatively said about black women as opposed to like other races of women. So I think when they say protection, it's probably not in the literalist of senses, right? Like we're talking about like going outside and you see a black woman getting assaulted. Like, I don't think it's really like that, right? Like when most black women bring up, we don't feel protected, they're usually talking about the scrutiny that they feel online and things that are said about them.
Right.
Which is
Q just said right now. He just said right now, basically, you just said basically that their attitude would be more like, oh, I don't need no man, or I don't need this and that. So maybe that's the reason why, because how they express themselves about it.
If my brother saw somebody getting assaulted or they're fighting with their boyfriend and they don't know that person, they shouldn't even intervene. I'm sorry.
Well,
that is not their job. Like I've seen too many cases where cases on line with cases where people would intervene and they get hurt, they get killed. Or, the man gets beat up, the woman gets back with him. So it's like, that's like such a iffy situation. Like, it's just, I wouldn't want my siblings to intervene somebody they don't even know. Like, that's a tricky,
No, it's a tricky situation.
My question is, because I haven't watched the full video, so I feel like there's more to it than what's being presented in that little snippet. But are they specifically talking on a physical scale, or are they talking about spaces?
In the case,
you know what I mean? Because in my mind, me hearing that question is more in spaces, not necessarily like in a physical sense, but in spaces. You know what I mean? Like in the same way when we'll go and speak on race because that's where this is going. But like when there's a black woman that's in a particular space and then there's a conversation that's had and then afterwards it's like, oh, okay, well, I know this third person and bringing them into that space, kind of like that. Is that what they mean by the whole not being protected and everything else? Like I haven't watched the full video, so I feel like there's more that's missing right now.
In the case of Amanda Seales, she's speaking for in the sense of like, she goes to an Emmy party and people say she's not allowed to go there, or she's on the set of Insecure and she's getting into it with Issa about X, Y, and Z, and she feel like Issa's not having her back. In that sense, she doesn't feel protected. So like she's speaking from it in that sense, right? Like, oh, black women don't feel protected in spaces, on the internet. When we get up in these conversations and we start talking about, oh, well, white women this and white women that, and then black women are consistently put down. She's talking about protected in that sense. It's not really in a physical sense. Like I don't think she's really talking about, oh, we go outside and people are mugging us and they just let us get killed. Like, no, I don't think it's really like that.
But are they even friends? Like, are they like? I'm sorry, it's not. I don't think that's a race thing, but if I'm not friends with Issa Rae, like, why? Like, am I gonna defend her like that? Like, I just don't get. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Like, I don't I don't know.
We can speak to Amanda Seales specifically, or we can speak to like black women not
in general, like how she said it. But are they friends? They weren't friends. So why does she have the audacity that Issa?
I don't know what they are, honestly. I know
they weren't friends. By her talking her interview, it didn't seem like they were friends. So why does she feel like someone that's not her friend needs to protect her? I wouldn't think Greer needs to protect me. Ari, Kwame, we're not friends. Like, I wouldn't, oh my God, Ari, why didn't you protect me? Because this man called me the B word. No, we're not friends. So like, I just don't get that.
I personally think is delusional in a lot of the things that she thinks and speaks about, but I think that's a little different. So in her specific example, I think you're right. You're speaking from a more rational standpoint of like, oh, why would I want this black woman to defend me if I'm wrong in this situation?
But it's not even black, it's just women. If it was a white woman,
some people actually believe that right or wrong, that you should have their back. no matter what. Like if we're cool, right? Like we're cool and I'm in a situation with somebody, right or wrong, you should be on my side. Like regardless of if I'm right or wrong in the situation. Some people think that way.
When it comes to work, when it comes to money and work, I'm not intervening, especially if it can mess up my job. Like I'm sorry. Like unless the boss asks me a question, then I might. But
so I'll say this. So she, after that interview, she did go on her spaces and she said she didn't feel protected on Shannon's platform. She herself said she felt like Shannon's platform wasn't a safe space for Black women, her specifically, and she didn't feel like the space protected her. And then some of the clips that came out after the fact, she felt like they weren't doing their best to protect her. In that sense, they were using clickbaity headlines and videos, and she didn't feel protected by their platform. And she feels like Black spaces in general don't protect her on their platforms, like Baller Alert and all that stuff.
I watched the whole interview. The girl was delusional the whole time. Everything she said, they hated her for no reason. You did something. Ain't nobody just gonna hate you for no reason.
But that is a bigger issue of, like I said, do Black women in America feel protected? And then these are the examples that we get, right? So I think it's a case by case thing. I think we can all look at Amanda Seales and say, all right, well, I think there's something wrong with her specifically. But then when you broaden it out and say, all right, well, Q, do you feel protected when you go in a situation, you walk in a restaurant and there's like all these white people and then you're a Black woman and you feel like somebody says something wrong to you and now you feel like you're not being protected and there's Black men right behind you, like you may personalize that situation,
No.
Like, but people do that.
I think that, okay, I saw the interview too. I think she's very, very smart. She might be too smart for her own good. But she can't keep blaming her blaming so many people. Okay, if you blame like 2 people, okay, we can get you. But you blaming a whole list of people? You can't take.
Brought up something that was somebody.
What did she say? She said misunderstood, and what was her other track? Just so I kind of put it together. Huh?
Protected.
I'm protected.